The story I'm going to tell you, friends, I'm going to post after. I mean, you may have seen it. It's an interview on Gem years ago. But since I read it here now, and it's so beautiful, I will tell the story and then I'll post it. You'll hear it from him. I hope he's still alive. His name is Avram Infeld. Avram Infeld is a South African Jew who immigrated to America and worked. He was a shaliach of the Sochnut, of the Israeli agency, lived in Baltimore, and very involved in chinuch. His passion in South Africa, Johannesburg, I think, and then later in Baltimore. Comes from a frum home, strongly Zionist, very passionate person. And so that's where he was. Now, one day he gets a phone call, doesn't say who this was, but someone in the Israeli ministry, he says a very, very important person, very high up, was going to see the Rebbe. Now, this fellow, he said, was not observant at all, a very secular Israeli. And he expresses in his interview, see, very prominent in government. And he's called me that I should accompany him to guide him. He's coming to visit a Rebbe, Chassidic Rebbe, Rabbi Schneerson. And he just is, he's just clueless with the protocol in the religious world. Would I accompany him? So I said, yeah. So he went from Baltimore to 770. And this fella was in Yechidus for a long time. And I think he's, since here in the paper doesn't say where I'm reading from, but in the interview he does, and I'm going to post it. And he comes out at one point and he says, the Rebbe wants to see you. He says, this must be a mistake. He says, there's no reason that he want to see me. And as he tells the story, you'll see, he gets very emotional from this point going forward. And the guy, the Israeli official, minister, said, no, they insist that wants to see you. So I'm prepared, I go in. And I approach the Rebbe's desk, he says, and the Rebbe takes my hand in his two hands. It's not a very unusual thing. And he says to him, Avrum, in Yiddish he said to him, bleibt in chinuch. Stay in chinuch and education. He was completely stunned because no one in the world knew that he just signed a contract. He was leaving chinuch in his work as a shaliach, as an Israeli, as a shaliach of the government Israeli shaliach in Baltimore, and he was moving to Israel to head up a startup company. I said I was passionate about education. But in his words, it's not a job for a Jewish boy. The politics, whatever he said, was very, very. He didn't go into detail. He just said it's not a nice job. It's not a job for a nice Jewish boy. And he's a very passionate Zionist. He had a job, set up a startup company. This is 1965 in Israel. And he says, I want you to listen to the tape. He gets all emotional. He can't describe, but the love and what he felt in the Rebbe's room, the greatness and the love. The Rotze in the Shul. And the Rebbe said it with such warmth and love that he changed his plans. No one in the world knew. How the Rebbe knows, he says, is a complete mystery. And he changed his plans, and this is what he went on to do, my dear friends. He went on to be one of the founders of Birthright that affects, I don't know, tens of thousands. The president of Hillel International, the founder of another organization in Yisrael, Chinuch, that does work in the army, amongst the youth and in the army, inspiring them. In England, a major organization, 45 years. He remained in Chinuch and touched the lives of tens and tens, if not more, of thousands of young people. From this was 2 seconds. Avrom, stay in Chinuch. The story is a very powerful story, but the story is, first of all, how does the Rebbe know? Because the Rebbe is, that's what a Rebbe is. He feels every yid. But I think one of the lessons of the story is, for us, Well, not the Rebbe's, but everyone has a piece of Rebbe in him, because we're all one great soul. When you really mean something, and you mean it altruistically, for that person's good and for the good of another Yid, it's a few seconds, a warm handshake and embrace could change a life. Not just a life here, but tens of thousands of lives. Birthright. Hillel International, and you'll see he lists very humbly the organizations that he founded in the subsequent 45 years. Okay, friends, that was the story. I'll post it and you'll hear it yourself.
Thank you.